Hi there. In this screencast, I'm going to go over finding slopes of lines. So I think one definition we've used in class, or probably seen from last year, is slope is equal to rise over run. I don't think it's the greatest definition to use, but that's what we're doing for now. So let's start off by drawing a graph of something. So here's my two lines. So there's my y and x axis, and maybe we'll have something go with that point and that point, this point, and that point. So there's a bunch of points. I'll try to draw a straight line through this. Close enough. Okay, so how do we find the slope of this line? So step one, pick any 2 points on this. And we're going to use those 2 points to calculate the slope. So I think for this one I'll pick this point, I'll call that point 1, and I'll pick this one point 2. I should say when you pick your 2 points, it's best to use use points that have whole number coordinates. So we could pick any 2 points. If I wanted to, I could say that's a point and that's a point, and that's what I'm going to use to calculate the slope. But that's not so easy to work with because those things will have decimal points. So pick points that are whole numbers, that have whole number coordinates, I guess we'd say. Even better, whole number coordinates on an axis, or the origin. Like the origin, for instance. So I've picked one. Both my points have whole numbers, and point 1 is on an axis. So we can maybe talk a little bit about what these points are. Point 1 has the coordinates x1, y1, and point 2 has the coordinates x2, y2. And we're going to use that to calculate what we say is the rise over the run. That's what we're going to calculate. Okay, so we've picked our 2 points, and now we're going to use black, I guess. Calculate rise, or vertical change, and run, which is the horizontal change. Okay, so let me move this over here. So point 1 has coordinates x value is 0 and the y value is 1. So these are the points. And point 2 has x value of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and y value of 1, 2, 3. So x1 is 0, y1 is 1, x2 is 6, y2 is 3. So intuitively, I think we can just look at this graph, these 2 points. We can see the rise is 2 and the run is 6. And that works out because all these points, or those 2 points I picked, land on whole numbers that are easy to see. But that's not always going to be the case. So more generally speaking, we can say that the rise is equal to y2 minus y1, which is equal to 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. And the run is equal to x2 minus x1, which is equal to 6 minus 3. I'm sorry, 6 minus 0, which is 6. And that's what we've already saw intuitively. So we know our rise and run. So our last step is step 3, calculate slope, which is equal to rise over run. So slope is equal to, so we said to rise, so that's, well, that's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's equal to 2 over 6, or we could say slope is 1/3. So there you have it. That's how you can determine the slope of a line. Just a couple actually extra things I'll tell you right now is you don't have to memorize this, but it just helps to sort of at least hear it and think about it. If you have a line that's going in that direction, that's going to be a positive slope, always. And if you have a graph that has a line that goes like that, that's always a negative slope. So that's something you could think about when you're finding slopes of things. If you have a graph that looks like that and you calculate like slope equals positive 3, you know for sure you did something wrong, because a line that goes in that direction, oops, has to be a negative. Alright, that's it for this video. Thanks.